Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Wednesday, June 13th, 2018 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is my mind works the leading edge for my evolution. I'll say that again because I said it a little weird. My mind works the leading edge for my evolution. And today we have new moon energy, new moon in Gemini. This is at 22 degrees, master level degree, revolution, evolution degree, so packs a punch. And we also have Venus preparing to shift out of Cancer and into Leo. So some potent, powerful energy going on today in and through the astro. Let's dig into that new moon first and that energy mantra. The energy mantra, the leading edge, being on the leading edge of who you are, the leading edge of bringing forth your soul energy, the leading edge of what is evolving. Our mind is willing to be programmed in order to drive us in that direction. So when I was doing my past lives course earlier this year, that was so great with all the people that participated, one of my friends, Deanna, helped us out in that, and she talked about crystals. Let's grab this little guy right here. Crystals, and how crystals are long to be programmed, which I never really thought about. Crystals are long to be programmed so that they can work for you. Well, we ourselves are this crystalline nature, and the brain, the mind, is one of the hubs of this crystalline nature, and it wants to be programmed. And so here we have, with this new moon energy, this revolution, evolution energy, this master level energy, this call to program ourselves to work the leading edge, to walk the leading edge, to work the leading edge. One of the things that comes with this is knowing how to process and frame situations that we are in. So any situation that we come across, we experience, we take part in, needs to be processed. There's usually some kind of emotional energy. And with Mercury in Cancer, we are feeling emotional energy when it comes to anything that we start thinking about. And with the moon energy in Gemini as well, that connects us to the emotional energy. So it needs to be processed. But then, once we process, we have a decision. What are we going to do with this? These things, everything, every circumstance has an opportunity to push us in the direction of our soul's triumph. Big words, universe, big words. Our soul's triumph. Okay, so everything can push us in that direction, or it can take us through more lessons. So once we have processed how we frame this energy. Now, I always love to bring up my questions with any situation. What's the good? What's the joy? What's the lesson? And where is the love? That can be definitely part of the reframing process. But realizing things like these things that don't feel good, the contrast energies, there's a reason for the contrast, and that's to show us the direction of what it is we really, really want. And with this master level, new moon, manifesty energy of the moon, intention setting lessons of this moon, at the revolution, evolution degree, which means that there may be some triggers going on in and through this, we are being called to program ourselves, to work ourselves in that direction. Let our minds work for us on the leading edge of our soul path, of our soul unfolding, of our soul triumph, apparently. So this is a call to work with yourself. The other thing I have written down here that I think is important to note is being human is a mental condition. You know, animals do not deal with the mental fallout, dare I say, that we do as humans. They have their own stuff, for sure, but they don't have the same kind of process. Being human is a mental condition. So just realizing that. Don't come down on yourself for any of your mental diatribes, for the monkey rambunctiousness, for any wrangling that needs to be done. It's not about coming down for yourself, but it is about continuing to lay those parameters, to continue to program, to continue to work with this clay, this creation that you're building with the mental energy in and part of it. Part of this mastery is you coming into your own mastery in and through this and working with that yourself. 22 degrees, master level degree. 22 is an interesting number. 4 is an interesting number. I was talking to somebody about it earlier. In astrology, the 4 energy is associated with Uranus, which is that change energy, change, shift, innovation, doing things your own way, rebellion even. So it has that kind of vibration astrologically. But in traditional numerology, 4 energy is finding that stability. It is like having those 4 corners down, setting that foundation. So working with this 4, working with this energy, utilize both of those things: the change, the shift, the evolution, the innovation, and the steadiness of your focus, the steadiness of your soul desire to move in that direction. Let that help drive you, move you forward in and through this. So before we dig into all the other astro, let's talk a little bit about Venus, this Venus shift. So one thing to note, Venus will be at 29 degrees of Cancer through most of the day. What time does Venus shift? Venus shifts at 2:54 p.m. Pacific time. So that Venus shift late in the afternoon will have us stepping into Leo, stepping into creation land, bringing forth the worth of our talents, our creativity, hopefully us knowing the worth of our inner child and letting that exuberance come forth, letting that love, letting that light burst forth. Like that. But before that, Venus 29 degrees Cancer, have you learned these lessons of valuing your self-care, of the importance, the worth of taking care of yourself? Spend time today as laying your foundation as part of this leading edge, putting into this energy that self-care, that self-love that needs to come through. That sets the perfect foundation for that new moon, and it sets the perfect foundation for Venus moving into Leo. This Venus-Leo trip is going to be important. Venus is kind of leading the way of the planets right now. Venus is in the lead. Of course she is. Of course she is. That's so interesting. What I feel so strongly with the astros unfolding and with these eclipses coming is that there is so much yin breakthrough coming. And of course, Venus right now is on that leading edge, leading us into the energy of love, leading us into this place where we hold dearly the worth of love, what love really is, where we get to know it and express it. So Venus in Leo is calling us to do that, as the other eclipses will then make their way, helping us break through, because I really do feel the yin is on the move, and there is no avoiding the yin. The yin is going to get you. Okay. Such an interesting scope so far. Very, very interesting. All right. The other astro energies that are going on today. Before the new moon energy hits, we begin with the moon connecting to Neptune. This could be possibly, well, some of us are actually sleeping, this connection. My feeling is it's like just a little bit of mental battle between what you think is and what the universe is telling you is. I bet on what the universe tells you that is versus what our mind says that is. There's so many illusions that we have to filter through. Follow the soul call ultimately to find your way in and through any of that resistance, but this may come through dream time. Take your dreams seriously. I wouldn't say take them literally, but take your dreams seriously, because I think that there's a little bit of unwinding that may come in and through that. This makes sense too with this next connection. The next connection is Mercury, which has just shifted into Cancer, connecting to Uranus in Taurus, 1 degree. Mercury in Cancer, again, taking the time to know the importance of the self-care. I said yesterday, Mercury and Venus, alpha and omega of Cancer right now. Important. Self-care is important. And Uranus in Taurus is reminding us the importance of our worth to help break through our worth. So this to me just feeds more into that. Are you taking care of yourself? What do you need to do to take care of yourself? And put that in your foundation and put that into the programming of your mind, the programming of your crystal to help bring these energies into your life. Next connection, again, very interesting. Mercury in Cancer will be squaring Chiron newly in Aries. Chiron in Aries. What I've talked about with Chiron in Aries, although I think I did it in a written post more so than out loud, was revealing the true identity of ourselves, which is the true identity of our soul, versus these other identities that we have put on. So if you're going to practice this self-care on a soul level, that may be different than if you were practicing self-care on an identity level. So let that kind of filter into your day as well. Rather than it being something vain, which isn't bad or wrong, and still might be exactly what you need, rather than it being something about that, let your self-care be soul-based. What is your soul begging for? Still could be a massage or some good food. There's so many different levels of this, but what is it that your soul needs versus what identity cloaks you've put on may need? Dig into that soul level of it. Let's see. Venus into Leo, that's the last transit of the day. One last thing. This is interesting and feeds into all of this too. Vesta. Vesta's hanging out at 29 degrees Leo. Is that right? Let me look at this chart. I have it written down. No, not Leo. It's 29 degrees Sagittarius. I was like, I don't think it's in Leo. Vesta, 29 degrees Sagittarius. Master level degree, knowing your inner divine light. I like to say inner priestess because Vesta is priestess energy, but it's for male or female. Wherever you are in the scheme of things. Masculine, feminine, yin-yang energy, knowing your divinity, knowing your light. 29 degrees Sagittarius. What am I feeling with this? Especially in light of this. It's almost like holding yourself as a, so weird, so interesting, the visions that I'm seeing with this. Holding yourself as a, I can't think of what the word is. Commencement talker, commencement speech person, commencer? I don't know what the person's name is, but person who gives a commencement speech at a graduation. Some kind of philosopher, that's what I see. Somebody in like that cap and gown. Having, almost like projecting yourself in the future. Having given yourself the gift of treating yourself as if you are this divine energy, then coming back and giving the commencement speech to you here as you are now. I hope that this is getting through to somebody because this is such a crazy vision that's coming through. Allow yourself to show up as that. Allow yourself from the future you who knows your worth, to give that speech to you today so that you can come into this next level of your worth as you program yourself. All right, finishing up with that, kind of. Sabian symbol. Sabian symbol for the new moon. I know this is a lot, but a lot keeps just coming through. This is monkey. This is Gemini. Dancing couples in the harvest festival. This is for Gemini, 22 degrees. When I read it, I was like, I really don't get anything too much from it. But what I do get from it is like the couples part. The couple coming together. The divine counterpoints, the yin and the yang energies. Like I said, the yin is rising and cannot be stopped. And I'm going to talk about that more, probably more so in my Patreon account than here, but it's going to come up all through these eclipses. As I'm doing these eclipse readings, I am seeing it. The yin is coming in like some really big waves that needs to be surfed. The feelings, the unknown, the trusting the intuition, it's all coming in. But this is part of the dance of the yin and the yang together. This is planned, and part of our mastery is being here to first process it. That's part of the yin energy, and then programming it. That's part of that yang energy. It talks about bioenergetic rebuilding in and through this, but I think what I covered in that is enough. If you want to dig into the Sabian symbol any more than that, that's cool. All right, so where are we going? We are programming. We are the creators. This is the energy of new moon energy, intention, creation, bringing about transformation, change, and success. There we go. Transformation, change, and success. The transformation is within, the change comes without, and then this is the result as we do the work. Part of the work, though, like I said, is the processing. Do not leave that behind. We want to jump ahead. We want to program. We want things to be okay. The processing needs to happen. The unwinding of the things needs to happen. And finally, the peacefulness card. You recognize that balance, kindness, and love brings calmness to your soul. I want to read just a little bit of this because it kind of talks about the contrast energy. The sad irony of life is that humans can only appreciate the quality of peaceful existence by experiencing moments of comparative turmoil and conflict. Just as you most value health after an illness, so do you feel most grateful for peace once you have encountered strife. Discord is something that you can learn to avoid. Lucky is the soul who learns this lesson quickly. Confrontation and conflict are not the energy of spirit. Most people in our world are reactors, especially when they feel themselves to be recipients of any negativity. They align more with the eye for an eye than turn the other cheek. Unfortunately, they don't realize this is the worst possible response that they could mount. A punitive reaction instantly forces brain into survival mode, and hormones and chemicals of self-preservation are released into the body, which attempt to rid itself of the foreign invader who broke through the calm of its normal environment. How intense is this? Interesting. The intensity takes its mind on the mind and body, eventually bringing about a state of disease. This is why it's imperative you make a vital part of your daily ritual to return to a state of peaceful bliss and harmony as often as possible. But process your stuff before you react. Stop, drop, settle in, process. All right, so that's that card. I don't want to read any more of that. I think that's enough. Anyways, that was very interesting reading, very monkey-led. Soul Triumph. Here we go. Let's do this ride. We are a month out from the first eclipse. You can book that reading. There is a link down below. My website isn't working, but there's a link you can utilize. Come join me over on my Patreon. I have a lot of fun things to do over there. That link is also below. If you'd like another reading, email me. I would be happy to send you an invoice for it. And that is it for today. Happy new moon. Utilize this master energy, and the better it gets, and there is enough love in the world for you. I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.